Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger, to me.
Hi, I'm Chief Master Sergeant William Candy.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
The future has not been written. There is no fate but what we make for ourselves.
And on that eventful explosion, which is Judgment Day, because there is no fate but what you make for yourselves, this show is in fact back. Fat back. Hi, I'm Ethan McKinley. This is the 2-Minute Terminator, and we're actually on Terminator 3. We made it begrudgingly to Ellie, who
Stop
I don't
saying
think
that.
wants to do this show anymore.
That's not true.
She's been made to do it. She's been hard to track down. She's been starting a new job, so she's been distracted with that, haven't you, Ellie?
I have. Hi, I'm Ellie Fitzgerald. On the other person on this show.
The other
Dare
line.
say co-host.
You're a co-host.
I know, but I've been told off many times for saying co-host.
Not at all. I used to tell Alex off for saying that, because she wasn't the co-host.
We're back. We are
back.
actually back. New year, new show,
It's been
new
3
film.
weeks. We've been trying to start the show over and over again. I was trying to actually do, because I'm a completist, psycho, weirdo, OCD person, the bonus episodes
way
for
you
Terminator
remember this.
2. But we kind of covered them at the end of Terminator 1. We did the toys, but they're actually the toys from when Terminator 2 came out in 1991. So that didn't matter. Then I wanted to do... what else did we do? The deleted scenes. But because it was the Skynet edition, and I think
All the deleted scenes were in the film.
in the film, and we discussed the ones that were kind of all sort of missing as we went. So
Yeah,
we
'cause
couldn't do that.
We actually went to go do that episode the other day, and you sent me a link to the deleted scenes, and I was like, Ethan, these were all in the film.
Yeah, I wanted to round it up to like 80 episodes. We're on 77, and then I shit you not, I've tried to actually sit down with the Skynet edition Blu-ray with the kind of pop-up video kind of like speech bubbles that come up and tell you what's happening in the film, watching it live with Ellie for a 2.5 hour special.
And both the TVs in the house. One of them we can't use
We're
because we
told-
haven't got the fucking remote
No,
cables.
yeah.
No, because that'd play
The
out.
cable that plugs into the PlayStation 3 for the hand controller that makes the fucking thing work
is missing.
is missing.
And my other housemate said, "Oh yeah, you can use my TV. It plays Blu-ray." It
You're like,
doesn't.
is it Blu-ray? He's like, yeah.
And we literally set it all up, and in the pinnacle moment, it failed. So we decided to just crack
The
on with...
machines failed us. So
we
we're
decided
gonna
to crack on with 3.
Yeah, we're going to do the first episode of Terminator 3, maybe the second one at gunpoint. It's going to be a slightly rejigged version of the show this time. Ellie's going to hate it even more.
Because I've got to put facts in.
As you may or may not know, one of the reasons I took a week off at the start of January, which wasn't Ellie's fault, was I had to log and compile every piece of information I could find based on Terminator 3. Despite buying the Blu-ray, I actually just went through the internet and went for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Literally
and
5 days.
Literally 5 days.
You could barely get hold of Ethan.
But when I got to hour 18 or 20 of, I guess, research, and I finished Terminator 3, I thought,
I'm going to push ahead.
I'm going to push ahead and save myself this bother and the poor listeners' bother by having to wait a week or two before I can do all the trivia again. I did. Terminator Salvation. Fuck, that was really hard.
That's what she said.
And I did Terminator Genesis. So, we've got all 3 films logged, literally down to the penny.
Ethan is so proud. If you could see the notes, every name is highlighted in blue and underlined so that if you click on it, it opens up a little... Look at his little happy face. He's been fucking power grabbing for the last 20 minutes. And if you click on this, this opens that, and it still keeps the same page. It just opens a new tab.
If you actually go to the YouTube version, where this show will ultimately exist for the rest of time, so Ellie doesn't have to keep paying for it. Under that, in the show notes, any name you click will take you to a link that explains who that person is, what they've done. If the name doesn't click, there's a link next to
But that's
them.
only if you give a fuck, mate.
I think people will. I think my problem with the show so far, not that it's not been great, but I think it's been less about facts about the film, and I
feel like the beginning. I feel like the first. I think Terminator 1 was a lot more about the facts. I feel Terminator 2 was more about us.
But yet, it's the best film. I don't know. Maybe there's nothing to talk about or criticise to do with it.
I think so.
Yeah, maybe.
I just think there was a lot going on.
It's almost
there was lots going on outside of.
Almost like the Star Wars films.
Which we don't need to discuss.
The special edition of Empire Strikes Back. They did very little tinkering with it that much compared to all the other special editions because it was such a complete film. Maybe Terminator 2's like that. Anyway.
That reminds me.
Yes.
The last thing I'll say about Star Wars, because we are going to crack on to Terminator, because we are the first 5.5 minutes in.
And we've got a lot to get through.
You should do that podcast with Dan and discuss the new Star Wars movie.
We should.
That'd be really good.
Yeah. Did he not like it?
No, he was so disappointed. Don't you remember when we were driving back from that party?
I was,
and you
sadly.
guys literally spent the whole time. So you had me,
but
Saki,
I kind of
and
kept
Holly
blacking
in the
out,
back.
but being awake. I was going, what were we just saying?
Yeah, we know, because you were the one that was meant to be telling us where the fuck to go, and you kept just putting your phone down, and we were like, Ethan, the map!
Did
and
I
like,
give someone else
shit.
the phone? I was wrapped up in Star Wars.
I physically took it off you.
Yeah, sorry, listeners. I was a bit disappointed with Star Wars. I'm not sure what American listeners perhaps feel. If you feel you need to kind of mention how you felt about Star Wars, send a letter in.
To where?
Han Solo doesn't have the Millennium Falcon. That's the first thing. It's on a junk planet. So, straight away, why?
How and why?
And then there's this weird bit in the middle where Han Solo's on a larger ship as a space pirate. So he's a broke space smuggler again with Chewbacca.
You might as well take the plunge.
In a sequence that looks like something out of Guardians of the Galaxy with some weird Scottish kid going, Han Solo, you owe me some money. And it like belongs in Train Spotting and not Star Wars. You'll see this on the 24th of this month, Ella, when I take you to the IMAX version of the film. Yes.
Oh my God.
Merry Christmas. I booked tickets ages ago. I really don't want to see it now. I actually feel gutted that I bought the tickets. I really do. I've spent like fucking $60 fucking on this goddamn fucking film.
I might just smudge myself out the whole film.
And then, like, Kylo Ren takes his helmet off, therefore ruining any kind of, like, mystique. He acts like an unruly teenager, and then Han Solo dies. And before any fans out there go, yeah, well, it's good Han Solo died, handing over to the next generation. He should have died.
Fuck the next generation.
They killed Obi-Wan Kenobi in the first one. Yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi, listeners, was in it for 20 minutes. He was the sagely character.
He set the scene.
He set the scene, and then he died, which gave it a little bit of weight. If you
Luke
kill
Skywalker.
Han Solo, that's like killing it. That is like killing Indiana Jones, same actor. It's like killing Mary Poppins. These are all-time classic movie characters. You don't need to fucking kill.
It'd be like killing John Connor.
Yeah, separating him from his ship for years. He's broken it with Princess Leia.
What?
Their fucking son's evil, and then he dies.
They're fucking their evil son.
Dude, you'll see it. It doesn't.
Oh God,
like,
I can't wait.
as a casual viewer, I've seen lots of girls who are going, yeah, it's really good and it was good and
but I
amazing.
think everyone's just.
And it was good when he died. I think if you're actually familiar with the films and you grew up with them, and the characters mean something to you, it's really weird seeing like one of the all-time classic film characters in the
That's
entire.
probably why Dan felt the way he did.
Entire history of film just being snuffed out and not even well done. It was just badly done. You saw it coming from miles away. And when it was done, you're just like, oh, well, that didn't feel like anything of any importance or weight. It didn't give the film anything.
How did John do with the music?
Not good.
Really?
I think it's one of John... Well, he's
like 90 odd now, isn't he?
he's 82.
82.
And I think... And he does... he didn't do Spielberg's Bridge of Spies this year. So I guess his workload has been severely cut because he's old. I guess he's kind of retired. He just comes out to the odd Spielberg film. But Spielberg, I think... James Newton Howard did the soundtrack to Bridge of Spies this year.
Am I right in thinking that
And it's
now...
usually John Williams. That's the first time Spielberg, I think, as far as I know, worked with a different composer in his entire career of 40 years.
But haven't they handed it over to Disney now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
Because Lucasfilm still makes Star Wars films.
Yeah.
I guess Disney has approval because they're putting up the money for it. But it just seemed
Oh,
really
so
odd
they
they'd
just pay
kill
for it,
Han Solo.
basically.
How that got through and was allowed.
Right, that's it. I'm putting a fucking ban on Star Wars now.
So here we are. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. At the time, and maybe this still stands. It was made in 2003, and it's the highest production budget of a film ever made. 187.3 million.
That is fucking unbelievable.
Most of that
actually went to
Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger. Unbelievable. And he's fucking a bit shit in it, to be honest.
Yeah, he actually got paid 29.25 million plus 20% gross profit.
Yeah, and it was but another thing that would have helped its box office is the fact it wasn't an R movie, and it was the most expensive R-rated film at the time, adjusted for inflation, as of January this year.
From actually reading these notes that were compiled so brilliantly and beautifully by Ethan, I had no idea that Arnold was such a fucking diva.
Whoa, yeah.
In the fact that everything, he had to approve of everyone that worked with him, down to his hairstylist, the guy that does his makeup.
I don't think that's such a bad thing, though, because I suppose if you've been in the business long enough, you've met enough idiots.
But it's not like he just decided, oh yeah, I want my makeup artist and I want my whatever, my chef. It's everything. Everything is all inclusive. And the fact that he also demanded that he got paid the same amount even if the movie didn't end up getting made. Now that is what you call a fucking boss.
Yeah, that's called what's that called? That's called
Monopoly.
I think that's called that's called a pay or play thing. So basically, when you have a film in development, you attach an actor or a star aboard. They get their fee regardless.
Okay.
So if the film doesn't pan out for whatever Hollywood reason, maybe they just decide not to make it, or they don't get the budget in time, or they can't get the funds, that star will get their fucking paycheck no matter what.
And he had some fucking badass, ridiculously expensive Jewish lawyer to write his contract, which was 33 pages long.
Yeah. And by the same token, actually, Sean Young, who was going to play Vicky Vale in 1989's Batman, I think she either fell out with the director or she was too difficult to work with. She's a bit nutty. And she walked, and I think they tried to sue her. Oh, no, sorry, I tell a lie. They fired Sean Young, who didn't get the part as Vicky Vale. They got rid of her some way through the production or in the rehearsals.
Why have we gone to Batman?
Because I'm coming to something. Kim Basinger took the part.
I know.
But then she didn't want to do it.
I thought she did a really good job.
Then Warner Brothers threatened to sue her for millions if she didn't do the part, so she was kind of forced into it.
Oh,
when you come to Batman Returns, Sean Young lobbied to play the part of Catwoman to the point of turning up at the fucking studio dressed as in a Catwoman outfit.
Oh my god! And Michelle Pfeiffer walked in there and was just like,
"Who's this
Chad,
crazy
you ain't got
bitch?"
shit on me,
yeah,
girl.
so she didn't get it basically. But yeah, no, I know. Is that too diva-ish to reprove things on the film that you're?
Oh no, I love it. I love that it's absolutely all or nothing. I love it, but I had no idea that it was quite.
It's not diva-ish in the sense of like fucking.
Yeah, it's not J-Lo.
Yeah, when they ask for like a fucking a bowl of
and
hat
it's out of line, and I
peach
need a
flavors
bowl of fucking Smarties, and all of the Smarties had to be blue. Yeah. It's not that kind of, but yeah, I don't know. I would have thought even the fact that he demanded 3 like deluxe double bedrooms on fucking set and like limousine rides everywhere. He had a special. He had a special gym, private jets, a lumps. Yeah, he demanded on top of his fee a lump sum of 1.5 million.
If you want diva-ish, P Diddy. Is he called P Diddy now, or is he just Diddy?
I can't.
Puffy Combs, Sean Paul.
Puffy nipples.
Oh, so love puffy nipples. He's got a manservant called Farnsworth Bentley who literally Farnsworth Bentley, and basically he follows him around.
Farnsworth Bentley. I'm sorry, but that is a slave name.
No, that's more like
Bentley.
Isaiah Washington or some shit.
No,
like
Bentley. Come on.
Bentley Washington.
That's a fucking slave name.
Well, he kind of is, because he's manservant. He has to carry like umbrellas for him.
He's a black man who has a black man slave.
Yeah.
Wow.
Although weirdly,
riddle me that.
What was it when I think they did actually release the slaves? It was called the Plantation Rights, something. The slaves that were free.
Emancipation Proclamation.
They went back to Africa and enslaved more blacks because what they'd learned through slavery.
Dude, fucking Mugabe. Like when they chucked out all the white farmers, when they went back about 5 or 10 years later, they did some documentary and they were speaking to all the farm workers and they were saying it's got worse since all the white farmers were kicked out because we were paid. We had food, we had we had roofs over our heads. Now that they're gone, now that the white farmer has gone, they weren't being paid. They were starving to death. They had absolutely nothing. There's no structure. There's no kind of strategy in play. It's just fucking carnage.
Wow. Black people truly are evil.
I say bring back our empire.
Sweet land of liberty. Only kidding.
Right, so we've discussed a bit about how much the film costs to make.
Well, let's break it down, because it was the most expensive R-rated film. R-rated, of course, means restricted, which I think in America you can't go into the cinema unless you're over 17 or accompanied by a parent or guardian, because I saw in 1989 Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, in the cinema with my dad.
Whoa.
Yeah, 1989. So I saw a horror film accompanied by a parent, and you can in America see an R-rated film. Now, I think that's what I have to say about that.
He's lost his train of thought. I was saying about how much the film cost.
So the story rights belong to Carolco and then Gale and Hurd. Now, Carolco was owned by Mario Casar and Andrew Vajner, which cracks Ellie up every time. Mario Casar and Andrew Vajner, of course, worked with Stallone extensively on the Rocky films to Rocky 3, and they formed Carolco, basically. Do you want to take this, Ellie? Because my sight reading sucks. Ted Sarafine was the writer. It was the project they were developed. Yeah, basically Andrew Vajner and Mario Casar developed this in 1999 and was originally written by Ted Sarafine. Well, the second half. While the second half project
codename Project Angel by Warner Brothers, which eventually became Terminator Salvation, was written by David C. Wilson, due for a 2003 release, which is to take place immediately after the events of this film. Had there been no script revisions, the film could have been released in 2001. After the film's release, actors' work commitments... Oh, yeah. So, obviously, this is when Arnold Schwarzenegger was the governor of California. Commitments. So the fact that he was governor of California prompted that Project Angel script had to be rewritten from scratch, including moving the time setting by the writers John Brancato and Michael Ferris.
Jonathan Mostow, of course, came aboard as the director under his supervision, those two writers. However, in 2006, Casar and Vajner decided to end their business relationship and sold the rights to Victor Kubiak and Derek Anderson. The original idea for the fourth film was ultimately scrapped.
So what do we think caused this rift between these two business partners? Because it's not man and woman, this is man and man.
I don't know. I mean...
something really bad has to happen for two brosifs to fall out.
Well,
men only fight over one thing, and that's generally women.
Well, I mean, these guys have worked together for quite some time. They go, way back?
Do you reckon they touched dicks and shit got weird?
Maybe. You know what these Hollywood parties are like.
What's that called? Frotting?
Frottage or frotting?
Frotting, I think. Yeah.
No, is it?
Yeah. It's when you like
space
rank
docking. That's taking a shit in a woman's pussy.
Yeah. Oh my
god. Intermedia. That's it. That's what I was trying to think of. C2 Pictures. They went on to form C2 Pictures after Carolco because Carolco went bust in the early 90s, basically. Carolco made like Rambo 2, which was written by James Cameron, who weirdly did, obviously, the Terminator films. And then I think Rambo 3, which fucked Carolco massively because it was a giant flop. And they spent like over 100 million on it at the time, I think. It was where Stallone fights with the Taliban, which became... well, the Mujahideen, which became the Taliban. It was a massive bomb, basically, Rambo 3. And I think that kind of fucked Carolco up. I think they just made enough to make ends meet with Terminator 2. But then they went on to obviously form C2 Pictures. I don't have any information, despite these exhaustive notes, why they actually fell out. However, you can further read by clicking any of their names in the notes below the YouTube video.
Question, Ethan.
Yes.
So it states here as well that it was originally, the movie was actually going to be shot in Vancouver, BC.
Yeah.
But they actually then changed it last minute to be shot in Los Angeles. Why is that?
Probably for cheapness. It's probably very cheap to film in. Lots of television and film productions have shot. I mean, I think, Deadpool.
But I would have thought LA would be like top whack. No?
No, but if you're where the business is based, if your studio, Warner Brothers, Columbia is in Hollywood, in Studio City behind the Hollywood Hills.
Yeah.
And all your studio stuff is there.
Okay.
You can.
So then, why would they originally have planned to shoot it in Vancouver?
I don't know. Maybe tax reasons. Maybe there was some kind of financial issue, or it was most likely tax reasons.
And Cameron wanted none of it.
Well, Cameron is only credited with the characters, of course. He had nothing to do with this film. It was originally slated to be shot in Vancouver, as Ellie just told you. We're recovering what we just said. There you go. It was relocated to the last minute in LA. The speculative reasons for the move is due to the rising criticism against American productions being shot in Canada. And Schwarzenegger's political aspirations, obviously, wanted to keep things in the US. So,
do you reckon that's like an American thing, though? We want our movie to be shot in America. Fuck Canada.
Well, yeah,
there does seem to be like massive rivalry between America and Canada.
Yeah. Well, Canadians are obviously very nice, and Americans very light.
Thanks for having me, buddy. Oh, I wish you watched South Park.
I will.
One day you shall. And then we've got a bit of information about.
Well, I've just said it even without reading that. LA studio space became available to accommodate the production.
Oh, how convenient. Do you reckon Arnold Schwarzenegger had anything to do with that?
Yeah. Edward Furlong
he probably broke a few necks.
Edward Furlong was going to come back to play John Connor, but because he was a bit of a
druggy,
a tearaway, shall we say, having a colourful personal life, he was dropped
what do you
in favour.
expect, though, man? Putting someone that young into into the spotlight. Like, I mean, every child star has fucked up. Like, pretty much every single one. They all turn to drugs. Dude, if I was
because he had like a bad. He had come from a crazy. Well, he was kind of John Connor in real life, wasn't he, Edward Furlong? He came from that kind of like wacky parents background, and was, I think, fostered, or his mum was like a single mum and stuff. And many dads came and went.
Blooge. Yeah, but because obviously the fame that he then got from Terminator, all the money and all the babes and all the parties and everything came along with it. So
at 13
God bless
as well.
you, Edward. I don't blame you for going fucking batshit crazy.
Well, it's because he's 13 as well. You've got that kind of like hormones are racing. You're in the biggest movie of all time. You're just coming into.
I wonder how much model pussy he got at the age of like 14.
Oh, probably tons. Well, I mean, I think isn't that woman he was dating?
He got married to some like 30-odd-year-old woman when he was like 16 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I always find it kind of hot when it's the other way around, like an older dude with a younger girl, but an older woman with a younger boy. I don't know. I just don't know what the woman's getting out of it.
I think on a genetic level.
I know they're fresh and they're young, but a young boy has no idea what the fuck he's doing with his dick.
But some, I guess, women don't care about that. They just want that.
The status
vigor.
and the money. Oh, okay. Well, it's clearly what she wanted from Edward. Bless
Well, I
him.
don't know. Also, you get those
Whilst
you get those crazy teachers that they try and shame in public when they have sex with a student.
Yeah, true.
Like, oh, she was a 27-year-old teacher and she's having sex with a 15-year-old student.
Again, could have referenced with a great episode of South Park.
And it's just like, why wasn't that teacher at my school?
Yeah, what, the blonde? Nice.
And if it's the other way around, if it's an older teacher with a girl student, everyone goes, oh my God. Like, even girls say, oh my God, and men.
Yeah.
And yet, if it's the other way around.
To be fair, though, if I was a teacher and I was teaching, like, I don't know, GCSE or A-level students, and there was some young chap there who looked like a man, who you could tell was rocking a fucking massive hog, then yeah, I'd definitely do it. After school, detention.
Oh, well, I know.
I know, thank God I'm not a teacher.
Yeah, Claire Danes came along as Kate Brewster, which is apparently is like John Connor's in the future's right-hand woman and like co-fucking runner of the war.
She's so dull, do you not think?
Claire Danes is a bit dull. Really good actress, but yeah, she's a bit dull.
She's got one of those kind of like whiny faces.
I think
like
Claire
she's always
Filani
miserable.
might have been maybe better, but she's not as good an actress, obviously.
She's fucking hot though.
But yeah, Claire Filani's out of Mallrats and I think Meet Joe Black. But yeah, she's kind of hot.
She's nice.
Goes out with Dougray Scott.
Who's he?
Dougray Scott is the bad guy from Mission Impossible 2, which you haven't seen.
Oh.
How weirdly, he was cast in the first X-Men film as Wolverine. But because Mission Impossible 2's production schedule went over by months.
And he didn't skip leg day.
Yeah. He lost the part and they got in this unknown.
His legs are too big.
They got on this unknown stage act called Hugh Jackman to play Wolverine.
Fair play. Fair play.
That's Dougray Scott there. Hang on.
Oh God, he is not hot. Why is his forehead so shiny?
Maybe it's just very hot. So yeah, Claire Filani plays Sean Connery's daughter in The Rock. Jade plays Jade, my daughter. She's in Mallrats, Green Street Hooligans, and she's in Meet Joe Black. So yeah, a bit prettier than Claire Danes, who looks a bit kind of like heavy featured.
It's not even just that; she's just got a weak face.
Shane West was going to play John Connor. He's also a slightly odd-looking chap.
Yeah, I've seen him in. Oh God, what's
He
it
plays
called?
Tom Sawyer in The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He's in the Nikita TV show.
He's in a
Walk
really
to
funny.
Remember.
He's in a really funny film with Martin Short.
He's been in ER.
Get over it. Get over it.
Yeah.
It's a really shitty American kind of teen flick.
Oh,
but
I
it's
know.
it is absolutely hilarious.
Ben Foster's in it, but he's like a really good actor now.
Yeah, and
Get
it's
over
got
it.
Martin Short in it, and
Yeah.
he's fucking
Is he
brilliant.
the drama teacher?
Yes. Fairy spirits. Keep icing your front bum. The swelling continues when you don't ice. It's so fucking good. Diana.
So anyway, yeah, Jonathan Mostow got paid $5 million to direct this film. The producers got $10 million. Well done, boys. 5 each. The cast collectively got $35 million. Arnold got $29.25 million.
plus 20%
Why would
gross
you not
profits.
round it up to $30 million? What 29.25?
There will probably be some legality. He
That's
may have had to have,
250,000, right?
but if it had actually gone up to 30,000, well, yeah, 30 point whatever million, there may have been a higher rate of tax to pay on it.
And then he got 20% on top of that of the gross profits. So that is what, 80 million on top? So
Yeah.
he got about 100 million, if give or take and change.
I also read further down as well that usually they don't get money past. Well, usually they will lie and there'll be smoke and mirrors about them actually breaking even. But Arnold managed to swindle it in so that even after they broke even, he still continued to get paid on any kind of profit from the film.
Wow.
I know. What a fucking boss. But then again, get a fucking the best Jewish lawyer, Bloom or whatever his name is, to write your fucking contract.
Yeah, they wanted Ridley Scott to direct this. He turned it down. John McTiernan, who directed many of Schwarzenegger's films, including Just Predator. He directed The Hunt for October, of course. No, he did Last Action Hero, so he did two good Arnold films. But he turned it down. They offered it to direct James Cameron. He was like, kiss my ass, but I will take the money. And there we go.
And there we go. So we go from minute 0 to
Well,
2.
no, well, we're going to do that in the next episode. This is kind of just like
Oh, okay.
a precursor, so we can get all this junk out of the way, bore you to death, and then we can get on with the fun of actually talking about the.
I think all this kind
clips.
of background and setting up though is actually quite interesting.
Yeah.
I've learnt a lot. I like the fact that Arnie's even more of a boss than I originally once thought he was. That's pretty fucking cool.
Well, here's the thing. We're going to come to this actually further down into the film, but Arnold Schwarzenegger, Peter Kent, as you know, is Arnold's stunt double on many things, right from the first Terminator, that flat-faced looking dude who did the jump into the LA storm drain on the Harley with those two wires that were painted out. Yeah. He's the one that climbed up on the front of the truck and shot the T-1000 with the M16 through the fucking through the windscreen, and then peeled the wheel and rode like surfed the,
Highway.
the Cryco fucking cryogenic tank, which broke into the fucking steel plant at the end of the film and did that jump. That's Peter Kent. There's even an an album dedicated to Peter Kent on the Terminator Facebook page. Now, he's got a fucking another stand-in. I couldn't believe this.
For this movie?
Well, he does other films with Arnold. I'm not sure how they share the workload unless like Peter Kent doesn't do it anymore. But Billy D. Lucas is Arnold's double on this. He's actually got a small acting part in the film. We will get to that in minute 17. Which
So
is
what
the
happened to
32 second.
Kent?
I don't know. Unless he was on another project. But up until this point, as far as I know, Peter Kent was Arnold's double and everything. He's still alive.
He's still alive. It's not
So
like he
I don't
died.
know what the reason was. Maybe they just share the workload. But yeah, he was a Schwarzenegger stand
Share the
slash
load.
thing. This time Arnold wanted a female Terminator, which is Christina Loken.
That was actually Arnold's idea.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He likes those ladies.
What about a black Terminator, Arnold?
Because it wouldn't work.
It would. Well,
It fucking wouldn't.
O.J. Simpson was going to be the Terminator originally.
Yeah, I know, and he wasn't. Thank God.
In a sense, he would have been a great Terminator because he's actually not committing murder in real life. Allegedly.
Jury's out on that one.
Christina Loken, of course, has been in As the World Turns. She's in Terminator 3, of course. She's in Blood Rain, 2005, and in The Name of the King, a dungeon siege tale, which is based, I think, on a video game. which stars Jason Statham. Those two films are famous, of course, because they're directed by Yul Boe. Now, Yul Boll. He's a German director, but I think he only directs films for some like weird tax evasive purposes.
Right. Smart man.
So he's known for making awful films. If you look at his,
Almost looks like you.
if you look at his work, shut up! I don't like J.J. Abrams. He's got a penis for a nose.
Back in the Justin Focus days, definitely.
If you look at his directing career, he directs 3 or 4 films a year. How someone does that successfully and like delivers quality, obviously that's not possible. However, Yul Boe is so criticised as a director. You'll love this, Ellie. He took so much flack from fans on movie websites every time a film comes out. He challenged his detractors to a boxing match.
What?
In real life.
Oh my god.
Now.
What, the fans?
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
What his bloggers didn't know there was Yul Boll is actually quite a hard bastard. And
of course he is, he's German.
And he's a fucking boxer in real life, or
The
what?
Germans are double-R bastards, dude.
So he knows how to box. So basically, these unsuspecting, I think I'm tough bloggers got in the ring with Yul Boll.
Fucking keyboard hero.
And he fucking leathered a lot of them.
Turn it up. Let's listen.
I'll play it again. Here we go.
So I've wrote like, okay, if you come up here and you fight me, then I will kick the shit out of you.
41.
Actually, we have 5 contenders. So one guy was in Spain already, and then today I have 4 more fights. So they have a good advantage here, yeah, 4 against 1. All the hecklers, all the critics, all the geeks are wannabe filmmakers, and as soon as they do something on their own, it sucks.
He's one of the most prolific filmmakers out there. Yes, he's shit, but he's prolific.
And that was Chris Alexander, editor of Rue Morgue.
Never been in a ring.
Jay Schneider, and Ain't It Cool news critic.
I came here for the free trip to Vancouver. What do you think about Dr. Bull's work?
Most of his movies suck.
Nelson Chance Minter, just some kid.
Minter.
The Deutschland Destroyer, the Teutonic Terror, Dr. Uwe.
And he fights them one after the other.
Uwe Boll, that's it, not
I
Uwe
call him
Boll.
Dr. Bull because that makes him sound too professional, and I really take offense to that.
Oh, you got
I
murked.
haven't seen any of his movies, but I heard that they're they're not good.
The characters are poorly written. He has no eye for detail. Like I said, I haven't really seen a full movie, but I don't really think that I need to have even seen a full movie to judge it.
Oh my god.
The only ones that really sucked were House of the Dead, Blood Rain, and Alone in the Dark. Well, his movies are bad. They're terrible. They're awful.
Bosh.
They're hypnotically bad. But they're so bad on such a gigantic, huge operatic scale.
Teach the critics a lesson.
Did you teach the critics a lesson? Absolutely. Oh my god, he's like vomiting.
And there he is,
Hi,
throwing up.
Mum.
He just had the shit beaten out of him by Uwe Boll, whose
Do you know
name
what?
I
I
mispronounced, sorry.
I bet Arnold Schwarzenegger loved that.
Oh, it's great.
That's amazing. I wish that happened all the time.
Spielberg.
Every time someone gets a critic, right, that's it, in the fucking ring. Gloves at dawn.
So
That is amazing.
okay, here's the Carolco story just before we wrap up this episode, listeners. Following the box office flops of Cutthroat Island, 1995, that film with Jeannie Davis, and Showgirls, which is amazing. I'm sorry. Paul Verhoeven, you're a genius. Carolco, owned by Mario Casar and Andrew Wagner, went bankrupt at the end of 1995. And its assets, ancillary rights, were auctioned off to other companies. In 1997, Casar and Wagner managed to restart their venture under their new company, the C2 Pictures banner. half of Terminator, the franchise rights, were also part of the auction, and they managed to buy back their rights at $8 million. The other half of the rights were owned by Gale and Hurd, Cameron's, I think, past wife before he was married to Linda Hamilton. She was sold her share for $7 million. So that's basically how C2 Pictures were formed, and I think they didn't make any more films really after that. I think they did one more film after this, and they kind of dissolved. But that really is a little bit of wiffle waffle on the preview for Terminator 3.
And who did the music for Terminator 3?
Mario.
Mario?
Marco Beltrami.
Okay. Oh, Beltrami.
You like him because he did the Terminator 1. No, sorry, not Terminator 1. He did Terminator 3, of course, which we're talking about. He did the first Hellboy soundtrack.
Yes, that was it.
Which was really good. And then
Hellboy was amazing! And Hellboy 2. But I think I preferred Hellboy 2 because it was all ethereal about elves and shit, and I like all trolls and stuff.
Yes, Ellie saw. We're trying to show Ellie films she's never seen before, so she saw Help me out.
Hellboy 1.
Don't be afraid to talk, Ellie.
Hellboy 1 and Hellboy 2. What else have I seen? Crimson Peak, which I quite liked and Ethan hated.
I didn't hate it. It was just very flat, and it was.
Werewolf Man.
The Wolfman.
The Wolfman.
Yeah.
I liked that too.
Yeah,
but
that's
you
a good
weren't.
movie.
No,
it's good. It's just I just think when Anthony Hopkins and
the final battle scene between the two werewolves.
It was like it's like this Victorian Gothic drama. I think one thing that I think they maybe needed in it, which I think is in the old Claude Rains Wolfman, which it's based on, which I can't remember anything about, but I think the love story's played up more about that. So it's more. I think all those Victorian melodrama horrors are all about like lost love or unrequited love,
the woman falling for the beast kind of thing.
Or them can never be together because he's either a beast or
it's like Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman.
He has to die. That's the whole point.
It's tragic.
Yeah, it's a tragic gothic romance, and I think they kind of didn't really have that. The love interest was actually his brother's girlfriend that was killed by Anthony Hopkins, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they didn't really have that, and Benicio.
But they had that moment in the shop where they made out, and she was just like, "Stay with me, stay with me." He was like, "I can't."
I want your lipstick.
Your
doggy lipstick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually really like the effects of the werewolf. I like the fact that it was almost kind of like the Incredible Hulk, where he's still in his clothes, but he's ripped out, and he's I really liked it.
That's what was.
It kind of looked old school.
That was Rick Baker's dying wish, by the way. Just so you know, you've got your kitchen feet on your lovely chair.
I clean the bottom of my feet.
Just saying, if you've ever sit on that chair naked, you might get some like bin disease.
I cleaned the bottom of my fucking slippers after you reminded me.
What was I going to say? Yeah, no. Well, that was Rick Baker's dream, as he said in that American Werewolf in London documentary that you watched, that he really wanted to do like a man version of the Wolfman, a bit like the old Claude Rains version. So I guess he got to do that, and he got a little cameo before he got killed.
Yes, he did.
Rick Baker, who I met last summer in the comic store, Forbidden Planet, and I was like, Rick Baker. He went, "Oh," and I went, "Can I get a picture of you, Mr. Baker?"
Yes.
So yeah, of course.
I just love that you recognised him. It was amazing.
I think he loved that you recognised him.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, at first he was probably shocked, just like, oh, God.
Well, yeah, I was like, "Hey, Rick Baker." As I walked past, he went, "Hey." Like, he looked really shocked. And I was like, I always do this. I always meet someone famous and then never go, "Sorry to bother you.
I just can't get over the fact that you get starstruck. I saw Harrison Ford and I went, "Harrison!" I couldn't give a fuck.
I don't know, it depends. When I'm at work, when I meet all these famous people, it doesn't bother me. But
that's because you're in a professional head. When you're out and
I'm not in a professional head, I think, because I'm in more of a kind of like, hey, it's me kind of mood. But if you just are out and about and then suddenly someone that means so much to you as a child, I think it depends on the person. Rick Baker was kind of one of my heroes as a kid growing up, because one of my thing was I wanted to be a makeup special effects person. I saw American Werewolf in London when I was like 6.
Oh my God.
I rented Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 1980 when I was like 5 or 6. My brother was going out with this chick whose dad owned the video store. So I went, "Oh, can I get Texas Chainsaw Massacre?" They're like, "No, you're like 3." And I was like, "Yeah, but I'm Nigel's brother." And like, "Oh, okay," and they gave it to me. I used to watch all the kind of Luke Fulci cannibal horror films on which the Green Inferno is based from the 70s when they would do actual animal torture. I saw so many of these films because we had this DVD player, this Betamax Blu-ray.
Betamax, I was going to say.
Video player. So we had all these like banned video nasties essentially before they came out.
Nice.
So
is that why you're such a pirate now?
I grew up. I grew up like watching like hardcore horror films, and my dream was to be this like makeup special effects person. Then you met.
Mr. Baker himself.
Rick Baker, obviously 40 years too late, and what a shame. And obviously, like, sadly, that kind of art is dying. And that's one of the reasons
And he's
Rick
retiring
Baker
now.
is retiring this year, because his kind of workload is obviously greatly reduced. As you saw in The Wolfman, which came under criticism, that transformation in the kind of that Royal Society of Doctors or whatever, it's mostly CGI until he's in the Wolfman suit. So Rick Baker didn't get to do any of those like classic
Bring back the
animatronic.
original special effects.
And it did look a bit CGI when his face was changing.
It did. And I'm not a big fan of CGI too.
Yeah.
I like the old shit.
I think maybe Rick Baker, like they did in the Thing remake / sequel, is they made all these great special effects, and then the studio got panicky and then went put CGI over
the
it,
top of it,
which is what happened in the Thing.
Idiots!
And we've seen this. If you go on YouTube and you look for like the Thing, I'll just put it in the notes. If you see the Thing, kind of like the animatronic stuff, it looks fucking amazing.
It does.
There was nothing wrong with it. But there we go. We digress.
We digress.
So,
but welcome back.
Yeah. As we begin.
Glittering start filled with like trivia and facts.
Yeah.
I shan't be fact attacking until the first proper episode.
Which will be in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You fucking hate this,
I
don't
hate
you?
you so much. No, I'm joking. Hasta la vista.
Well, before we say that,
okay.
we'll get better at this. We just basically we've got
We
this
didn't
like
hit the music.
fire hose of information. That is true. We'll just start it off. The next time we'll do it. We haven't done it for so fucking long because of you.
Why is it always my fault? It's the holidays.
So yeah, it's a Columbia film. It stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Claire Danes as Kate Brewster, Nick Stahl as John Connor. We will come to him in the next episode. He was obviously famous for In the Bedroom. And the one and only Arnold Schwarzenegger doing his last film role before he went into office. And there we have it. Has he done anything good? I don't know. Well, we can discuss that as well. All this and more will come in the first episode of the official first episode, as we get to the first 2 minutes of Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, or as I like to call it, because I
found the Spanish or Mexican equivalent.
So yeah, don't worry, Columbia TriStar. I did buy the fucking Blu-ray, but we couldn't play the fucking thing, and sadly all the goddamn trivia I had to get was off the internet, therefore not actually negating buying it. But you've got your pound of flesh, so I downloaded it. Fucking sue me. So the version I downloaded was called Exterminador de Futuro 3. Which I think should be the name of the fucking show.
I think that should be the name of the
Welcome
show.
to Exterminador de Futuro 3.
Hasta la vista,
baby.
Bambino.
Yes.
I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm stupid in my head. I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I have big square